Hello, my name is Sugandho and I'm teaching an energy counseling training, and I would like to today to talk with you about what an energy counseling training is. An energy counseling training is related to the map of the chakras. It's related to the wisdom of the East. The East, with the chakra map, we're actually touching this wisdom of the East that has been known for centuries. And we bringing it into the training to bring the East and the Western approach of psychology together. Yeah, the chakra map could also be called the psychology of the East. And there's a lot we can learn from this psychology. The Western psychology has been, through the scientific development, been very rational, very analytical. And by embracing the Eastern concept of psychology through the chakra map, we're bringing a lot of color, a lot of multidimensional aspects into the psychology that would otherwise be missing. So I want to say a few words about the chakras and where they are located and what they mean theoretically. The exploration we will then do in the training. So when we talk about the first chakra and the energy of the first chakra, we're relating to the material world, we're relating to the physical body that we are living in. And the connection to that physical world, is the base for everything else that comes after that. And if that base is not solid, the whole rest that wants to stand on it becomes unsafe and wobbly. So we want to look in an experiential way of how am I related to this energy of the first chakra? How am I related to the material world? How am I related to my body? And it is different for each one of us depending on what development we have had in this lifetime. The second chakra then takes us into the world of emotions, very watery, flowing energy, very different from the first chakra that is a lot about stability. Our emotions, our feelings, our experiences, how our emotions have developed from the moment we were conceived in our mother's womb. It is also about how our needs for social connection. We don't want to live alone as human beings. We need connection. So it's also about that aspect. Then in the third chakra, the solar plexus, we are going to look into our individuality. So many people on this planet, and each one is different. None of us is the same, not by look, but also not by our individual aspects. Our soul has this very individual expression, each one of us. So we want to look into what makes me different from other people and how I can be expressing this difference in a good way, in a way where I'm happy with it without having to put others down or myself down or to compare myself, just seeing myself as a unique being. In the fourth chakra, we are looking into the development of love. Love is not equal to love. There are many aspects, and we also need to work in order to let this love become mature, like a good wine. Our love can be very egoistic, or our love can be too altruistic, where we're giving and we exhaust ourselves. So a mature love is a love that is balanced, where we can give, where we receive, where we love ourselves and we love others. The fifth chakra is about our communication. It's about our creativity. It's about expressing our truth, what we really want to say, not talking blah, 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 yeah, but talking something meaningful, sharing ourselves in our expression. And the third eye, the sixth chakra, is all about meditation and about the inner world. Yeah, these two eyes that are looking outwards are so connected to everything on the outside. Yeah, we're looking on TV screens, we are looking on the telephone, we are looking what people think about us. Yeah, our whole attention is directed outwards. And the chakra map teaches us to look within. There's a whole world inside which is as colorful or maybe even more colorful than the outside world. So it brings us into this state of awareness that there is another dimension that is as much part of us as the outside world that we are living in. And we have a great influence on this inner world when we understand it and know it. If we don't know it, we are not using much of the treasures we're holding inside. In the seventh chakra, our connection to this beautiful universe we are all living in, and we came from there, we will be returning back there. Yeah, this life will end eventually, and then we will all enter a different dimension. And it's good to know that this dimension exists, whether we call it God or paradise or whatever. There are many words for it, but it all names the same state or the same quality. So these are the 7 chakras, and in the training, or the idea of the training is to make this map our own, to let this map be our guide, to help us learn about ourselves through this map, and to use the wisdom of the East and the West to become wider and vaster in ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, others, and this world, and what we can do in this world. I'm with the chakra map since the early 1990, from the last century. And I'm still having the chakras as my teacher. Like, there's so much development when I really allow this wisdom to teach me, and when I let myself be guided by it and let myself receive the wisdom that is there. There's always something new to discover. It's never boring. So I would like to share this with people, because I have benefited so much from it, and I think other people can benefit from it just the same way. Now, what is energy? When I talk about an energy counseling, energy is, we usually think of electricity that comes from the wall, or an energy plant where we are creating electricity for our personal needs. But we don't connect energy actually with ourselves, with our own being, our body. And what the techniques of the East, the meditation, the yoga, are doing is they're bringing us to become more sensitive, that this body is a whole energy pool. Each chakra is an energy pool in itself, vibrating in a different frequency. And that's something we can actually experience. It's not a concept, a theoretical concept. In meditation, in yoga, we get a clear perception of it. So this is something I want to teach through exercises. And when I say exercises, I don't mean we're going to be doing yoga. yoga exercises, we will be using many techniques, including Eastern and Western techniques, to access this energetic field we are living in, and to also bring an influence to it. Yeah? We can bring an influence the way we perceive our body. Yeah, we can make our body more healthy when we understand the energy. We can make our relating more healthy, our emotional expression more healthy when we understand what this energy needs from us and how we can use it in a constructive, creative way. So we will play with energy, yeah? Which means not everything we will be exploring will be or can be understood only by the rational and analytical mind. We have to go beyond that. We have to open up our perception to our intuition to understand that colorful alchemy inside of us. And yet we don't want to leave our analytical understanding, our rational understanding behind, not at all. But why narrow? Why go narrow when we can be embracing both? So this we will do in the training, and this I want to teach in the first module, to become familiar with this map, to make it our own, to fill it with life, so that it's not just a concept. And from there, once we have understood the map and we become familiar to this map, from there, in the second module, I will teach what I call energy reading. So we're going from our own experience to explore the energy of others, which is something also very natural to do. We all know it. When we fall in love with somebody, we very easily know when we need to call this person, or we very easily can say how the person feels, because we are attuned. And in this attunement, yeah, we are actually becoming very intuitive, yeah, and then we just know and we never think about it. And we can use exactly the same attunement and the same intuition for just everybody, yeah, a stranger. I can read the energy of a stranger, and the person is totally perplexed to say, "Where are you? How can you know that?" Yeah, and this knowing doesn't come from the mind. It doesn't come through a rational knowledge. It comes through perception and through intuition. So in that module, in the second module, I'm training people to learn to trust their intuition and to open up to their intuition. And I'm also teaching the technique of reading, like we can read a past life of a person. We can read the energy between two people. Yeah, we can read the energy between a couple. Yeah, what connects them, what helps them, what is difficult. And by a reading, we are going into a state where we can help another person to go into a state actually of meditation. And in that state, we experience a state of non-judgmentalness. We experience a state of clarity. We experience a state of acceptance. Yeah, and living in a world that is so pressurized, yeah, and everybody has to perform and has to bring success and has to prove himself. Yeah, in such a world, to go into a totally different state and to relax into ourselves is tremendously powerful. It brings up a lot of creativity. It brings a relaxation. So this reading experience is something that is, I would say, in our lifetime today, in our world today, so needed. And it's really making everybody feel good, including the one who is reading. So it's a beautiful balance, and it's a beautiful tool that we can use to help others, but it will also help ourselves, because it will develop parts in ourselves, our intuition. It will even teach us the chakras. Yeah, when I read sometimes another person's chakra, I suddenly understand something about my own chakra. Yeah, so we are all interconnected, and in that sense, yeah, the giving is a receiving, and the receiving is a giving. And then there is another module, the third module of this training, which then teaches a series of sessions with a variety of techniques. And in this part, we want to help other people to dive deep into their chakras. We want to guide other people to explore their own chakras, to help them understand which chakra needs more help, which chakra wants to expand more, which chakra maybe is overactive, to bring more balance into a person's life. It's a very balancing experience that also brings a lot of clarity. And in that context, we're going to teach people meditation. We're going to give them techniques to continue working on themselves and not be dependent on others. Yeah, the chakras is something we can beautifully access by ourselves. So this is going to be these 3 parts of the training. And the first module, learning the chakra map, is something that can be just for the personal development. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with using it as a professional tool. It can be just for oneself. From the second module onwards, it's a tool or the chakra training will develop a new professional dimension that can be added to something that people are already doing, or it can be a beginning of something. Yeah, to work with people to make a new professional exploration, to make a new professional development. So I would like to see you. I would like to help you and teach you seeing yourself in this multidimensional way. And I'm happy that you listened to me today. Thank you.